I just pulled up to a client lawn. I'm going to try to do a live stream here. This is one I can use the battery equipment on. This is also a new client. I haven't done this one for very long. It's only been about maybe 2 months at the most. Hoping the audio is working here on the IsoTunes Link 2.0s with that Bluetooth microphone there. At any rate, I'm not sure if anybody's home, so we'll see how that goes and get it done. So let me just flip the camera around to the back ultra wide screen, and there we go. And put the camera in the holster and the kind of neck mount. All right, and see if I can capture some footage, some POV style footage mowing. I'm here a day early, trying to beat the rain. You can see kind of ominous looking clouds up there. Using all the Crest commercial stuff today, as usual. Really enjoy using all of the battery equipment when possible. This is when I will be able to use the battery mower. I do have the navigator in there for the next few lawns that I do after this one are a bit bigger. If you're just joining, let me know if you can hear me. I'm using the IsoTunes Link 2.0s with the Bluetooth microphone, using it in the app that allows me to use it. So it's not my favorite streaming app to use, but it does allow for the audio to be clear, so I can kind of narrate what I'm doing. This is one, like all of them, that I haven't done for a few weeks. 2 weeks since its last cut. Still on my summer 2-week schedule. Mowing lawns every second week. I'm getting them done that way. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Just say hi. Trimming this the best I can. This is one I'm going to bring out the edger for. I've offered in my initial estimate to do the edger, do the blade edging, but they didn't go for it initially, which I was surprised, considering I just charge once to do it and then maintain it after, as part of like the mowing price. I just get them to pay for the blade edging the first time, but I'm gonna do it anyways, I think, at some point, because it kind of irritates me that it's not done. Trying to beat the rain. I'm trying to beat the rain all week, and no rain has showed up. So I've been doing all my lawns a day earlier than normal, but we keep pushing the rain. Today was supposed to be a total washout, and it hasn't happened yet. Could, I guess, suppose happen later. They're saying there's a chance of showers now. Tomorrow's supposed to be sunny, and Friday's supposed to be sunny. Now those are cloudy. So the weather front, I guess, is just being pushed. Get what it can do done. So I'm not here on a regular day. but it did. Text the client and let them know that it was coming earlier. They do a lot of, they have like a Australian, I think it's an Australian cattle dog. Those really smart dogs. I think they're like the world's smartest dog. Do a lot of agility training and all that stuff. So I gave her a heads up because she usually will have a bunch of obstacles and stuff in the lawn there for agility training for the dog. Again, we had a bit of a windstorm on the weekend, so seeing the effects of that back here. Some of that tree debris. Nothing too bad. And this lawn for me was pretty funny because I guess I should angle that down. It's pretty funny. So I guess you can see those red poles there look like they're different heights for like jumping for the dog. This lawn here is pretty funny because almost every time I'm here, it smells like French fries. And that's because that building right there is the Wendy's drive-through. So literally the drive-through lane where all the cars are lining up, and it is roughly about lunchtime here. It's 12:24, so there'd be a lineup of cars right there, and picking up their Frosties and their spicy chicken combos. Those are my personal favorite at the Wendy's. Spicy chicken combo, junior deluxe cheeseburger, or cheeseburger deluxe I guess it's called, is another favorite of mine. Yeah, I try not to eat fast food too often now as I've gotten older. But I'll tell you, there was a time. It got so bad at one point that at a previous house that I used to live at, I would visit the Wendy's there so often, and every time I'd order a burger and fries and stuff, I'd always get like, I think it was like a honey mustard sauce on the side, like the nugget sauce for my fries. I preferred using honey mustard sauce and the ketchup. At any rate, it got so bad that I pulled into the drive-thru once, and the staff had gotten so accustomed to seeing my truck and trailer that I would pull up to the window to get my food, and then I'd ask for, they'd ask if you wanted ketchup or anything, and I'd pull up, and then they would say, the honey mustard sauce is in the bag. Like they already recognized me and knew exactly what I was ordering each time. That I was like, I think I got a problem with this fast food stuff. You see the lawn's still pretty dry. I should trim around this. Drainage type manhole cover thing. I'm just going to trim this over here too. Yeah, but you can see here like all these like steps and stuff. It'd be nice to get the edger and edge all those up. But you can see it's quite a bit of work. You'd be here for a bit doing it, and that's why I generally will charge people for them. And I'll do it the first time, and then after that, as long as they've paid me to do it, then I maintain it. after that. And just check in, tilting the phone down to see if there's any comments on the screen. There's nothing, no questions or anything from anybody. Still wondering if you guys can hear. I see one person at the moment watching. Let me know if you can hear me. Still trying to figure out these apps, all these different streaming apps. All of them have pluses and minuses, features that are good and bad. Haven't found a perfect solution yet. Trying to keep it simple, of course. You know, just having the phone strapped to my neck is enough. And doing that. And then if I can use the IsoTunes link, which I'm already wearing, with that boom mic accessory for audio, like in this app, it usually sounds pretty good, especially with the battery stuff. Oh, this battery is got 1 bar left, so I'm just gonna change that out. So unlocking the truck, just so I don't have it die halfway through, which last week it did, halfway through this lawn. So I prefer, when it gets close, if I notice, sometimes I don't notice, and that's all right. It'll run out and I just come grab another one, but if I notice, just swap it out. Lock the truck. Using the Crest with high lift blades at the moment. And on low power, as you can see. Here, that's the low power right there. It's showing 1 bar. If I increase it, you'll hear the RPM lift up. But I find the low power is more than enough on this mower for most conditions. The only time you can really benefit from the high power is with really tall grass or wet grass. And the higher RPM helps, especially the wet grass. If you got a combination of the two, if it's a little bit heavier growing plus wet, then using the high power is good. Build up that suction. Of course, I prefer using the low power when possible, because of course it uses less power, so you get a longer run time on your battery. And if it's doing the job, then there really is no need to have it. It's also quieter on the low power, so it makes it a little bit more enjoyable too, on top of already being really enjoyable versus using a noisy gas machine. But you do have to watch that power mode with the battery. We're learning lots this year using the battery stuff. Like cut quality, for one, is something where if you're using a gas mower, you're typically getting the best cut quality all the time because the mower is always working at the highest RPM. You're not mowing lawns and throwing the throttle down to save fuel, because technically, it's not meant to run like that, so it doesn't run properly. Where with a battery mower, you can control how much power, but then you got to watch that cut quality as well, because if it gets a little bit taller or a little bit wet and you try to continue on like the lower power mode, like I said, for most times it'll work, but you will notice cut quality suffer a little bit. So you want to just keep that in mind certain days. But I find sometimes I will vary the power that I'm using. So, for example, if I'm doing a lawn that is pretty, it's not growing super fast, and I can get away with doing the low power, then I'll do that. And then, not all lawns are like going to be perfectly even growing all the way through. So they'll have areas that are tougher. So then I'll use the high power just for those little areas. If it's like long and wet and stuff. And then for the rest of the lawn, just put it back down to low to maintain that battery a little bit longer. Let me know if you have any questions. Keep checking the screen here. See if any comments pop up. Your comment will pop right up on the screen. Let me know if you guys can hear me. There's no indicator on the screen to tell me if the audio is working. I'm using the IsoTunes Link 2.0s. I've got the boom mic accessory. So you should be able to hear me pretty clear. Lawns are pretty rough right now. I said I'm doing the 2-week mowing, so this lawn has been 2 weeks since it's been cut. And you can see some, like the neighbor here, who doesn't look like they've mowed it at all summer. And it's difficult here because there's the watering restrictions, there's all sorts of stuff that they have. So for residential houses, you are only allowed to water your lawn once a week on a designated day, depending on your address. So like even numbered addresses are Saturdays from 5 to 7 a.m. and odd number addresses are Sundays from 5 to 7 a.m. Any other day or time that you're watering your lawn could cause or get you a fine from the city. So they're getting kind of strict with it. It used to be, obviously when I grew up, you could water your lawn whenever you wanted. Then as the population grew, even though, ironically, it's the Pacific Northwest in a rainforest, it rains here probably 80% of the year. I'm only about 2 hours north. I'm in Canada, but only about 2 hours north of Seattle. I'm only about 10 minutes away from the U.S. border, Washington State. So when you think of like climate for like Seattle, and that is where I'm at, basically. It's exactly the same. Oh, Canada. So we are, you can see even after 2 weeks, this lawn has not grown very much. Oh man, when I get to this corner, the smell of those French fries is like, just smells amazing. It's torturous almost to come mow lawn. It's only about 12:30 right now here on the west coast, 12:37, and it's like prime lunchtime, mowing the lawn with, let's take a quick peek. Ooh, I don't know if I can undo this or not. Let's see, actually, you know what? It's probably easier for me just to take the phone off the holster. Let's see. There's the Wendy's drive-thru. So it's like right here, right in this customer's backyard. And it smells like deep fried goodness. Mowing at 2.5 inches. Now typically, come summertime, when lawns are slowing down, I would mow a little bit shorter. I typically mow most of my lawns at 2.5 inches throughout the year. But summertime I would lower it down just so it looks a little bit tidier when it's not growing as fast. But this year I'm experimenting with keeping the lawns all at 2.5 inches throughout the summer. So it's not as clean cutting, but I'm doing that for a couple of reasons. Number one, those watering restrictions have gotten more strict. In previous years, like I said, you could water whenever you wanted. Then they went to 2 times a week, which was fine. The 2 times a week was perfect. You're still conserving water, but watering your lawn, giving it a good water twice a week was more than enough. Then they went to the once a week, and it's only between 5 and 7 in the morning, which people here don't have irrigation systems for the most part because of just generally the amount of rain we get normally. So when the summer drought hits, things dry out like you're seeing here. So experimenting with keeping the lawns at 2.5 inches this year throughout the summer, which has been helping with the majority of them and keeping them greener. They're not growing any faster. They're still growing minimally, but they're staying a little bit greener. Now, I can't tell with this lawn because, like I said, I just picked up this lawn this year. With other client lawns that I know that I've done in summers past, they would be completely brown and yellow like the entire lawn, and they're all still pretty green. They're just not growing very quick. So I'm taking off very, very little. I'm visiting to mow. The other reason that really kind of sparked trying to see if I should keep these at 2.5 through the summer is that whole European Schaefer beetle thing that we are starting to get in the city that I'm in. It's been plaguing surrounding cities for about 10 years. We've had a reprieve, a natural reprieve. Big Fraser River runs where I'm on one side of the river and haven't had any issues where the other side of the river, where the other cities, the main city of Vancouver, that area, they've had Schaefer beetle for about 10 years. We started to get Schaefer beetle about 3 years ago now, just like across the river, those communities, and it has slowly come east every year. It comes and affects more and more neighborhoods. So it's now fully in the neighborhoods where I'm at. This year there was lots of evidence of it. Lawns getting destroyed, and so doing some research on that, treating those, and again, very limited on what you can do. But one of the sort of the preventative things that they talk about is mowing your lawn high, because in the summer, which it currently is, and the Schaefer beetles are actively laying eggs in lawns, they don't like taller grass. So I figured I will mow lawns a little bit taller, not necessarily taller than I would normally mow them, but just I won't lower them. Shorter in the summer, so you can see pretty dry in there. Check here. No comments. Everybody's shy today. So you see these green bins. Get to dump grass clippings in these. Every house has them, and the city picks them up every week on garbage day. So I never have to take grass clippings with me, which is nice. It allows me to bag these small lawns, which saves a lot of time because you're just doing one pass, particularly in the fall. When there's lots of leaves and stuff, you can just do one pass, pick it all up, and you're good. Instead of having to double or triple mulch, cut to get rid of stuff. Still nobody brave enough to say hello, eh? Nobody want to help a brother out and let me know if you can hear the audio or not. Just flip this up. Better angle. You see in this design of this trailer, just have like a 2x4 down there where the rear wheel is, so it's kind of pinned in there. It doesn't move, and then the trimmer kind of just fits perfectly sideways. The blower, I just kind of sit there. When I've got the backpack blower, it's a little bit more secure because the handle goes up. So I'm not sure if anybody has chatted or said anything. Let me see here. Yeah, can't tell really. Connected to chat. Connecting to chat. Don't see anything. Can't remember. It's a problem with doing these live streams just kind of like once in a while, is that, and especially right now during the summer where it's every 2-week mowing, playing around with so many different apps, trying to figure out what's the best, and I can't remember how to use the functions of the apps because you go like so far between using certain ones. Still nothing, eh? Nobody wants to say anything in the chat. At least let me know if you can hear me. My voice, audio is coming through. Or just, you got nothing to say, just type gibberish so I can just see if something comes up on the screen like it should. Makes the learning curve on these apps a lot more difficult. And it's kind of like sporadic use of them. I almost have to, maybe I'll do that too, is do live streaming every day, but do it privately, like on private. so that they're not public, and then just play with the settings and stuff, and just to familiarize myself with the apps a little bit better. A little bit quicker. Like I said, it's tough doing it right now because it's summer, bi-weekly mowing. And currently I'm only mowing 3 days a week. And so I'm trying to do one house each day, which, doing basically 3 streams a week. And then of those, and you got like a week off after that. At least lately I've been taking full weeks off. And then that makes it hard to remember what you did, or the previous week with the streaming apps and stuff. Yeah, but man, it would be so nice if I could do all of the edging and all these stones, the blade edging. But like I said, the customer I originally quoted, and they said not to worry about it. So, and like I mentioned, what I normally do is I quote for it in my original estimate as an option, and then if they go for the kind of added cost, then they only pay once, and I maintain it every week after that. So I think it's a pretty darn good deal. But if they don't want it, they don't want it. So it's tough. But I might bring it out just to do the driveway edges at least. Not so much those back ones, because that would be a lot of work. But I could zip the 2 sides of the driveway with a blade edger pretty quickly. It's always tough, right? Because if you quote something and the person goes for everything except that option, it's tough to then say, hey, okay, I'll turn around and do it for free. So that's it with that one. Pretty basic. Ugh. Again, I'm going to see. Remember to keep those headphones on. Pull the phone off. Let's see, throw this camera into the front view. There we go. And see how it's going. Man, whew, so tough keeping the headphones on when I get into the truck because it's like so hot, muggy out there, and it's like you just want to tear the headphones off. But if I've got the mic working, then I've made that mistake in the past on streams where I take it off and I'm still talking, and then I go to watch it after and I can't hear myself because, of course, it's connected to the microphone. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. Oh, maybe it's down there that I can type. So I'm just going to say hello or hi. On. Here. Oops, that didn't work. On care nation. I just want to see if I type that out, no, it happens. Yeah, so there you go. It does show up on the screen. So the chat is working. It's just you guys are all so shy. Don't want to type anything. So yeah, that's about it for this one. I just wanted to quickly kind of show that one. I call that one, again, the French fry house because of the Wendy's drive-through right behind that back fence there that I showed. And it just smells so good, especially right now at lunchtime. I was telling the customer about it. She says it's not like that all the time. It's just certain times of day that they do it. I'm trying to take this holster off. This is what I'm using to grip the phone to put on there and do the live stream. Is just this like little neck holder. Works great. Has a little like GoPro style mount. You can add your GoPros and stuff. It's pretty stable. Works pretty well. But yeah, it's got a little quick release button on the bottom, but usually got to use 2 hands to press it, and then one side there disconnects so that you can just pull it off. But can't do it with the single hand there. But at any rate, thanks for checking out today's live stream. I'm just glad I was able to do at least one with the battery stuff, so that hopefully the narration part of it works. Won't know that for sure. Um, but yeah, that's about it. This client, like I said, I've only done this one for about 2 months now. I think I've given them 2 invoices. Just a new client that's come along, so she wasn't happy with her previous service. Um, she said they started out fine, um, and originally her with this one, what happened was she had a landscaper for a few years. She actually requested a quote last year, and she had this other company doing it, but they had told her that they were going to be retiring or whatever the case may be. So that's why she called me originally last year. But then I never heard from her after the quote, so I just thought, okay, whatever. She didn't want to go with it. But then she called me again this spring. So apparently, the last person, the one she was happy with, ended up selling his business. So he told her that he made arrangements and somebody would continue looking after it. So she thought, okay, whatever. So the new people, whoever took it over, started looking after it, and then, but she quickly was not happy with them. They were very inconsistent in showing up. They were scalping the lawn in places, and she wanted it a bit taller. She had an area where there was some spots that were pretty rough from where they scalped it, like right down to the dirt apparently. So she had fenced it off and replanted seed and was growing it and watering it and all that sort of stuff. And then they came to mow and remove the fence and like scalped it again. So she's like, "What the? Like I'm trying to repair the what you guys had to." So she had kind of her last was like the last straw for her. And then she called me and asked me, told me, hey, I quoted her last year and asked if I could take it on. That she wasn't happy with these guys. So it's only been about 2 months because the other guys had started this season. So yeah, so far she's pretty happy. She prefers it on that taller side, um, especially because of the dogs and stuff like that, and her like agility training that she does back there with the dogs. Just softer on their paws and stuff if it's a little bit softer and not mowed so short. Yeah, but that's about it. So yeah, thanks for joining in. Um, like I said, unfortunately, I would have been happy to answer some questions and stuff as I have done in previous live streams, but nobody was up to asking anything. So I guess, yeah, that'll be it. I got to move on to the next one. The next one is next two are lawns I'm going to be doing with the Exmark Navigator. I was debating on doing the live stream for the last lawn of the day, which would have been good timing wise because a lot of you guys on the East Coast would have been more available to watch the live stream at that time. But then thought, well, this one with the battery, I'll be able to do and talk through it. And didn't see the car in the driveway, so I thought it could be a good opportunity to do this one. So I figured I'll just do this one today, and I can always do the other one another day. That's my largest property, the one I was thinking of doing. But again, it would be with a Navigator. So it'd be very loud and noisy to do a live stream, and I wouldn't be able to talk through it. I could pause and answer questions if things popped up, but figured I'd just take advantage of doing this one, even though it's a smaller, shorter lawn. So thanks for joining, and appreciate you guys coming on to the live stream and hanging out, and even if you just popped in for a little bit. And let me know in the comments, even if you're watching this after and can't